I am not a legal advisor, lawyer, or expert in the law. This video reflects my personal understanding and interpretation of the issues discussed based on publicly available information. I do not intend to accuse or claim that anyone is definitively breaking laws, nor do I seek to escalate this into a legal dispute. Rather, my goal is to highlight how the current situation and relevant legal principles appear, from my perspective, to support the protection of creators' rights. This is meant to provide context and backup for my position, not legal advice or definitive judgments. So, with that out of the way, let me fill you in on what went on with my channel over the last couple of days. On September the 11th, at 21:01, I received this in my email. Review a problem, a psychological take on DSBM and my cover of the song that introduced me to it. Here is an example of how your content did not follow community guidelines, but make sure you follow all policies. Policy for self-harm at 5:15. Content intended to shock, disgust, promote, or glorify suicide, self-harm behavior, or eating disorders is not allowed on YouTube. We may make limited exceptions for content with educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. Read the full policy. End of message. So it led me to writing the following before I even pushed the appeal decision button. I wrote, my recent video covering the psychological foundations of DSBM, depressive black metal, was removed under the claim of violating community guidelines. I need to be extremely clear about why this decision is fundamentally incorrect and inconsistent with the standards applied on your platform. Direct inconsistency in enforcement. 1. Your decision targets my video for describing the core characteristics of DSBM as a genre. Correction. Showing an album cover of one of the biggest bands within DSBM who has the very same image and album up on YouTube. 2. These exact themes, which you flagged, are already present throughout countless songs, albums, videos, live performances, and even commentary channels that continue to remain on YouTube without restriction. 3. If my content is to be considered a violation, then by definition, all DSBM content should also be taken down, including deathcore, horrorcore, gore-grind, and countless of other extreme-related content that explicitly practices and contains the same elements. Anything less is selective and discriminatory enforcement and unlawful. I'll get to more on that soon. Educational and academic context. 4. My video provided a scientific and psychological analysis backed with research regarding human behavior, emotional processing, and music's role in coping mechanisms. 5. The presentation was constructive. I framed these themes in terms of psychology, community, reassurance, and comfort. 6. My work was analytical, contextual, and explanatory, not promotional or graphic. The flagged section was literally part of a major album from one of the biggest contributors in the genre, and since there's numerous of even more graphic albums up now with several thousands and thousands of views, I didn't even consider there would be a problem since it was in an artistical representation it was shown, which I only helped to point out what was the defining elements behind the genre. In other words, an academic point, not a call to action. Thus, perfectly within your own words, we may make limited exceptions for content with educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic context. 7. In fact, I specifically said in my video at the 8:27 mark,
for me, personally, DSBM hasn't been about romanticizing depression or suicide. Absolutely not. Instead, it's functioned as a tool during difficult times.
Contradiction with platform precedent. 8. Other channels, including popular uploaders with significant view counts, have uploaded not just educational breakdowns like mine, but full, in this case DSBM music tracks and live performances containing explicit references to the very same subjects you flagged in my video. And do I need to remind you again of the abundance of similar and way worse content from numerous bands, genres, and creators that have been up for years? If I haven't gotten your attention yet, maybe this here now will. 9. If these videos are allowed to remain, while mine was removed simply for explaining and contextualizing these themes, then this platform's moderation process is inconsistent, unfair, and unlawful by several laws in EU and Sweden that could lead to serious legal accountability in the court of law under EU Charter of Fundamental Rights, Article 21, European Convention on Human Rights, Article 14, Sweden's Criminal Code, AFS 2015:4, and the Discrimination Act. Punitive impact on small creators. As a smaller channel, I already face the uphill challenge of building an audience within a niche subject, which then also, since I am aware of the plethora of views the other songs, videos, and channels got within similar and/or exactly the same niche subjects, leads me to see the value and confirmation to what I can upload and build on myself. Instead, I am punished, despite my near invisibility compared to them. Taking down a video that provided positive psychological framing and educational value not only punishes me without cause, but also suppresses viewers who benefit from understanding this music from a healthy, informed perspective. My request is simple and clear. Either apply your rules universally across all deathcore, horrorcore, gore grind, DSBM, and countless of other extreme-related content, including music, live shows, and video essays, or reinstate my content and undo the strike on my channel. Note: since I actively deleted the video, hid about 50% of my other videos, and got immediately denied my appeal within 1 or 2 minutes, I wasn't being hyperbolical, without any genuine chance to defend my case or even point out what and why I see is the reason for the decision being wrong, which in all seriousness is among the most infuriating thing here. That someone specifically point you to something and then you wrongfully punish me for it, but I, who got everything to lose on such decision and who's directly affected personally and mentally from the very second the situation got on my radar, well, I get no saying about actions or decisions on my content, completely leaving out my reasons, my points, my evidence, or even a name to who it was that targeted my channel. How do you suppose that would hold up in court? I digress, since I did this and lost all my hours, at least while I'm writing this script, and have felt forced to hide countless of videos with watch hours not active now on my progress and stats. I demand a leap at worst scenario and a full validation for partnership with YouTube at best. I respectfully urge you to review this decision with the proper contextual understanding. My video was not harmful. It was an educational, research-driven breakdown made to help people approach a difficult genre with clarity, nuance, and reassurance. To know that someone could target me and then leave me in a situation where I know I have been absolutely wrongfully handled left me feeling a disgusting mix of wanting to continue and a concern for what could within any given time lead to the same type of actions again. My channel and everything I've done and worked for gone. Consider this a friendly suggestion, not a warning. From a concerned creator, viewer, and user of a platform, we slowly rot away on, desperately craving anything authentic and meaningful, something that gives us a sense of belonging, acknowledgement of our shared emotions and views, which builds a community that makes each day just a little more tolerable. I'm not here to push it, but to be completely clear, if someone wants to fuck around, they will find out. Sincerely, Jonas.